55, but I'm 3 minutes early, so there you go. So we're on early by 3 minutes because this is my second time setting this up. And we'll see what everybody has to say. See how it's working out. Like my new little chair. Whee! Not new. Had it for a long time. While we're waiting here, I'll get my stuff set up. Hope it is working. Looks like it's sound's coming through. Looks like everything's on board to go. Oh, we got somebody looking. All right, so we come on just a hair early by a few minutes. Looks like I'm 2 minutes early. Talk about the car talk, so I'll wait till the 2:55 when I said I'd be on. I got started a little early because my second time doing this, so I kind of got me a little set up here. First time I've done it, seems to be working fine. Hope you can hear me okay, because it looks like on the little bottom of that thing it's doot, 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 says it's talking. So hopefully we're talking. Hopefully I'm talking to somebody. So we're only a minute away from when I said I'd be on there. So hopefully within the minute, we'll start having a bunch of people pop on with a bunch of questions. If you have a question, just go ahead and type it in and hit enter. And I'd love to answer it right here live on YouTube, right in front of the car. Yeah, this is a pretty good chair for doing these lives. This chair is really good for that because you can come out of the way, you can come back, and if you have a really bad limp, you know, you can do the really bad limp thing. Wonder where I got that. I broke my leg. The tibia plateau years ago. Been about 4 years now since I broke it, but so I keep this out in the shop. And a lot of people sit in it. It has a little backrest in it. It's got handbrakes. So we are now live at the time I said we'd be live. We're sitting in front of the Wagon here. So if you have any questions about the Wagon or the 55 over there, let me know and I'll be glad to answer it. So this, like I said, this is my first live. I don't want to run out of things to say, which never really happens with me. Never really happens with me. I always have something to say, which is probably half my problem. All right, I got one. I got a couple of them, but the real question is how many horsepower? Well, this car has never been on a dyno, and it is got a couple quads on it, dual quad 355, and it probably has, I would say conservative, probably 350 horse. So that's a guess. Hey, my dog name, Fletcher died not too long ago. Oh, sorry to hear about your dog. That sucks. Love you too. What car is that? I just started the stream and I will subscribe because you seem so cool. Thank you so much. That is a 55. That's a 56 Chevy Wagon. It's a two-door wagon. That's a little better. Look at it, it's all patinaed. I've had it going for quite a few years now. And then over in the corner over there is the 55 two-door 210 with a stroker motor in it. That's all show, and that one's shiny. Looks like show, but it's go. And that one's got, like I said, aluminum-headed stroker motor in it. Let's see. Yes, it is very expensive to paint them back to their original glory. So this is the original glory. That is original paint. It's never been painted. I know it doesn't look like it, but it's never been painted. That's how I wanted it. Go figure. You know, this car over here, let me turn the camera here. So that 55 is real nice, and I stress because it's real nice. That, you know, it's nice in its own way, but I'm not too worried about parking it in the parking lot next to somebody's, you know, next to somebody's hot rod. So again, original paint, patinaed car. I'll show you over here with it. I got this cool little gimbal that my son got me, but so it is a 56 two-door wagon on airbags, which I'm going to do a video on how to put airbags on a leaf spring car. They say it can't be done. Well, they sell a kit that I had to modify a little bit, and it can be done. I've had it on the road for a year now, and it works excellent. Excellent. Can you give me a shout out? I am a small content creator. I do car edits, please. Okay, there you go. That's, I need better glasses. Jerry's Car Edits. Go see him. He's got a shout out. Go look at his. All of us, you know, people are new at this stuff. We all need people to go look at our stuff, and sure helps us out. Plus, we learn a lot of things. So, yeah, there's my there's my wagon. And thanks for the question, and thanks for you know, watching here. So how many years have you and your dad had the 55? So I'm going to say it was picked up in 2000 and, no, I know when it was. It was picked out in July of 2014. So it's been 10 years. And that car was picked out 2015. But yeah, the 55, 2014. And now it's sitting here. And you're welcome, Jerry, no problem. Hope you have great success on your channel. My dad has a 66 Dodge Charger, not my dad, but the question here. Is that an old Buster? I don't know what an old Buster is. Nope, but it's a Chevrolet, it's not a Dodge. I have 2 Chevrolets. In fact, I have 3 Chevrolets. I have a 60 Chevy truck outside. Moved it out. We move it in and out of here because I like to have the big open area of the shop. The shop's nice and open in here. And then the 60 Chevy truck is going to be a tap truck. We're putting taps on the side of it. An old Buster means bad. Okay, I guess it's bad. I'd say it's bad. I'd say it's cool. I don't know. However you want to go with it. I'm good with it. That's cool. Thank you for the comment. Now I know what an old Buster is. Oh yeah, that's the car. I was talking to my brother today, and he was saying I should do some more live about the car and just things I do. And like I said, I'm gonna do the airbag video here probably tomorrow. We're gonna pull it all apart and then show what I did with the rear. Everybody knows the front. You buy a kit for it, bolt it in. I had to weld the plate in because I have tubular A-arms, but other than that, you know, that's pretty straightforward. So if you want to see in the car, let's see here. There it is, just real simple and clean. It's all black for the most part. It's got a green sparkly Superior 500 steering wheel, which I absolutely love, and I really love that shifter. So that is a kill duff shifter. You pull each gear, and that's what gear you're in. And the first lever runs all the gears, then you go, you know, low to second to third. But yeah, it's completely, of course I stack the car cover from the 55 on there because it stays under the cover most of the time, except when I do these, you know, videos and live. I like to have it out there. Can we see the inside? Absolutely. Let's show it again. So there's the inside of it. It's very factory looking in appearance. Not really super factory, but you know, it's definitely that black. Everything's kind of black with the door panels all done in black. So yeah, somebody put this little sticker on it at some point. I don't know. Kind of a reflector. I left it because I thought it was kind of cool. But the back seat is, you know, it's all done. It's got a headliner and the whole bit. And it's just that black, you know, pleated type. Something they would have done in the 60s, so kind of left it that way. Poppy's Nomad was 2017. You are right about that. His Nomad was 2017. And it came out of Idaho also. Of course, it's in California now. But yeah, it's out of Pocatello, Idaho. And there's the engine if everybody's kind of wondering. Of course, I believe, this is just me, but I believe I have the coolest overflow. And I'm waiting for one of those awards at the shows that says, you win the coolest overflow award. Because I think that's it. It's pretty simple. What I did with it, first you got to do is go buy a Corona 40 ouncer. So you buy that Corona 40, then you have to drink it. That's the fun part. Then you have to wait till the next day because you don't want to drink a 40 and then build this thing, because then it'll look like you built it. But you just go get some stainless steel hose clamps. You drill it through there, put one in upper and lower, put the different ways on them, and just crank it on down, and not too tight to break the glass, but nice and snug, and then bolt it to the inner fender here. So that's what I did, or the core support, excuse me. And then becomes the coolest overflow tank in the world. Also, a thing I think is really cool is these. So these bad boys just heat shrink on to the radiator. And they do it on both ends. So if you want to pull this radiator, like I do on both the water neck, and out it comes. Hose stays on it. Had it on there for years, works excellent. Very clean. So let's see here. I saw the inside of the car, okay. My grandpa has a car like that, but he picked it up from like 97. That's cool. Does he still have it and drive it and everything else? I hope so. And then what else do we got? I think that's caught up on the questions. You know, everybody else is asking a little bit about the shop. I've got a lot of questions about it. I've got my bikes, all but one. One of my bikes is down at my dad's house, taking up space in his garage. And then one of these are my son's. There's my wife's bike. My other son has his other felt at his house. And then my youngest son has his big ripper, or his big, what do they call those things? His other bike. Oh, geez, I'm having a senior moment. Oh, yeah, he does. That's pretty cool on that he still has that car. So the oldest car I have is that 55 Chevy right there. That's the oldest. And it's a 1955 Chevrolet 210. It's not a Bel Air. It gets called Bel Air all the time, but it is currently not a Bel Air. And let's see if we can get the hood open here one-handed. There we go. So there it is. It's got an aluminum-headed stroker motor in it, and it runs pretty good, I must say. And it's a very nice car. The doors are kind of close to each other right now, so I can't really show the inside, but the inside's all done. It has a very nice interior, and it's a blue. And that's the actual color of the car. The car is actually blue, if you want to know. We get that question asked a lot. What color is it? It's blue. Can we see the inside of your oldest car? Now, so that's what I was just saying. I can't really get into it without moving this other car. But this is a 56. We can look at that one, but let's see how far I can get in here. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but it's all buttoned up. I probably should have moved it forward, but it's all done. But again, the 56, so this is 1 year older, 56. And let's look at that again. So the 56, you can see the inside of it there. Seats are all done, headliner, the back seat, the dash. So here's the dash. Kind of shows it all. Needs to be vacuumed because I've been in and out with dirty feet. Oh yeah, that's it. So that's it with that. Now I'm all lost. There we go. Okay. Well, now we're back. Did the windows roll down manually or do you have a crank them down with a lever. Now they're manual. You crank them down with a lever. You know, you got to crank, crank, crank. Let me see if I can get a picture of it. Oh. Oh. This thing's not cooperating. Let's see if I can get a picture of it here. There you go. There's the cranks for it. And they go up and down, and then it has a smoker window, so you can even open those up. And they crank open like so. Kind of cool, kind of different. You know, anymore all cars are just push them buttons and down they go. What's the ET and mile per hour in the quarter mile? Well, it doesn't have great quarter mile times. It's in the low 12s. It's running 60 foot times or 1.6, and I think we've numbered it at 112 is the mile an hour. Every time I've had that car out, it seems like we've broke it. We broke the transmission, we screwed up the fuel, we've had distributor come apart, we've had every issue out every time we go out there. If you look at my videos, you'll see us on the drag strip running it. And actually the last video, that I don't know if it's on there or not, but I blew the tranny up in it. So I have not had a true full pass yet. We just threw on the carburetor. My dad put on one of them big Holly XPs, and that thing really runs now. And so hopefully this spring, we are going to find out exactly what it runs. You know, it's capable of getting the 11s. Will it get there? I don't know. I've had quite a few cars in the low 12s, and this one's pretty stout, especially with the 60 foot times. It really hooks hard. With that 4,500 stall in the 411s, it comes out of the hole pretty hard. But yeah, I would like to see it run in the high 11s. I think that would be a good number for a little small block. But we shall see. It's all bench racing until you get that little ticket at the window. You know, when you drive back through it, you get that little ticket. It all sounds good. That brings me up to a subject on that car. If you watch that video, there's a guy that I'm racing in one of those other kind of manufacturer cars, reminds me of a horse. And he was saying something to the effect he needed a line lock to beat me. And he was going on and on about, oh, I'll take it easy on you. And he run like 1530s, and I think that car run like 1230s at that time, or 1250s, somewhere in there. Yeah, it wasn't really close, especially that 60 foot time being so low. It was see you later. Kind of fun. I've learned a long time ago you don't talk about how fast your car is until you pick up that little white slip. Kind of like telling everybody how much horsepower you have if you've never been on a dyno. Let's see what else we have. Let's see, the radiator hose clamps are great. I haven't sliced myself on an hour yet. Yeah, they do work good. And then my grandpa has a pickup truck that has the same kind of roll down technique. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I like the old roll down windows. Big Ripper. Why was I saying PK? I was losing it. I knew it wasn't PK Ripper. It was Big Ripper. That's that old school stuff, you know, from back when we were a kid. Everybody had the PK Ripper. Yeah, they're Big Rippers. So my Big Ripper's down in my dad's house. Isn't that a hot rodding drive 5 miles and work on it a week? Yeah, that's pretty much it. Boy, that's it right there. We actually drove that car. That car drives to the drag strip. And it has the Mickey Thompson, you know, those street slicks on there, those ETs that you can drive on the street. And it's got the 4 9-inch in it and the 411s and the, you know, the Positrack, all the stuff. And then, so that last time we drove it out there, it just was not running right. So if you watch the video, it kind of cuts out and it just doesn't run real good. And then we were getting ready to go home, and my dad was in the passenger seat, and we're driving out of the drag strip, and it went wang, like you dropped the clutch, pushed the clutch in. And he turns to me and goes, "Hey, quit screwing around." And I go, "I'm not screwing around." He's like, "Oh yeah, you are. You're doing the shifter wrong, or you're doing something." And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then I did it again, and he's like, oh, no, you're not. I'm like, oh, no, I'm not. So we limped it home. It made it home, but that transmission was bought, and it was supposed to be a TCI with these super wazoo straight cut gears and all this good stuff. And I'm not going to mention it Summit, because I do like Summit, but it was years later, and then they just like, well, should have told us before then. Well, we didn't blow it up before then. It was just a basic transmission that TCI put a sticker on. It was terrible inside. It always had a whine, and we called them from the beginning, like, oh no, that's the gear set that's in it. And actually it was the inside of us hitting the case is what it was. So kind of a bummer. But anyways, it's got a good one now. Got a guy in Susanville, California, built a strong one for it, and it's held up so far. So that's the 55. And then people are asking about the shop. So back to the shop stuff. That's my pellet stove. So we heat this shop up with a pellet stove. Put a couple disc rotors on it, get some more metal in here, get it kind of warmed up. Even though this place is insulated, it still gets cold. There's a surfboard up on the wall. I used to put it on the car, but then I ain't really fit it for the most part, I'm not surfing here in Idaho. And I got a little drill press, and I got some of my little things from work and, things like that. And we used to go to Raider games all the time with the kids back before they sucked. I'll figure this thing out sooner or later. So back before they sucked, we used to go every year, a couple times a year, and go up in the booth, and we took pictures of the kids at every single game there and save the tickets. And so we were pretty faithful there when we lived in California. And man, they suck. Hope they turn it around. But we used to have a lot of good times going down there with the boys. They were pretty young when we started doing it. So yeah, you can see some of the pictures of them. In the stadium. Went to the AFC Championship game when they played the Titans, right before they went and lost the Super Bowl to John Gruden. But we went to that game, and the place was packed, and it was pretty exciting to go to that. I'm also working on this wall over here. So I'm putting up I have a bunch of license plates. I'm going to start putting them up, start painting the walls, things like that. But I got my jack stands in one spot, along with my milk crate and my knee pad. So, as much as I hate to get on the floor with that stuff. So any other car questions? I think I answered them all, especially Tracy with the, oh yeah, the kids, yeah, the kids don't suck, it's the Raiders, yeah. Yeah, you must be one of the children. Yeah, the Raiders suck. They suck bad. But we're talking about cars today. We're not talking about them. And then, we do have another car out here. I'll take you outside. Let's go outside real quick, even though it's cold out there. Let's take a look at what we got out here. That's the outside of my shop. But take a look here. And there's the 60 Chevy. And that's going to be our tap truck. So it's a old 60 Chevy truck with a cattle box on the back where they used to haul cows. And pretty cool. So we're restoring that, kind of working on the paint. I got to get one of my children to come over here and help me do some welding. He's a welder, he's a fabricator, so if you need anything fabricated, he would be your guy. And then we have his hoopty out here, old Chubbs. That's a 54 two-door hardtop car with a nail head in it. It's a pretty clean car. Doesn't have much rust at all in it for the most part. It has a little bit, but not very much. Considering it has one of those really neat windows. So airflow ventilation works really good in it. But yeah, it's a two-door hardtop car, a Buick Special. It's special, like my son. Yeah, or no, it's a Super, Scott, sorry. It's super like him. Berg's wondering what we're doing. Berg is just our cow that just showed up here from our son. He was a dwarf, and he's really blown up. He's not real big tall-wise, but he's thick. He's an eater. I don't know if he's camera shy or not. Hi, Berg. What's up, Berg? So that's Berg. So there's Berg, and then the other feeders are over there. Those are gonna be on our table here this summer. Okay, well, it's too cold out here, and my son is supposed to be bringing me pellets. He says he's 10 minutes out from the shop for pellets. And pellets would be nice because it would make it a lot warmer in the shop because I'm almost out. But it's kind of the fog's kind of rolling in all of a sudden. Well, we usually see all the way out there across the prairie, but the fog rolled in. So we're just seeing at the end of the property, basically. And I'm going back inside. And we'll see if we get any more car stuff. Because that's what we're talking about today is cars. All about the Chevys and the Tri-5s and all that good stuff. So let me set this thing back up. There we go. I don't know if you have any more questions about the wagon, but there it is. And I hope I answered all the questions so far. I hope I didn't miss one. If I missed it, go ahead and put it back in there. I was kind of walking around there and I might have missed some. But I hope I didn't miss any of your questions about the cars. And I had quite a few good questions so far today. I appreciate that. I also appreciate the time you're spending watching this, and it helps my channel. That's why I'm doing it. I want to interact with my channel. I want to be able to answer questions. I do a lot on my videos. I have tons of questions. I love answering them. Like I said, I really appreciate it. What I really appreciate, like and subscribe. That would be awesome. I guess I don't ask for that enough. That's what some people have been telling me. You gotta ask, gotta ask. I just assume because you get all these, all these likes that people just like and subscribe. It's free, and because I do it, and I just think that some people just forget. They want to help out. They want to do it. I get that. So if you get a chance, go ahead and like and subscribe to that. It would be real helpful. What's the boy's plan with the Buick? Okay, so this is a good one. His plan is he's gone back and forth with it, but the latest plan is to put a 409 in it. He currently has a 409, and how we come up with it, we were looking for another car of his. He has a 34, and he was going to put some kind of engine in it. And I said, well, 348, you can find those pretty cheap. I found one on Facebook. Had a picture of one of the numbers. I messaged the guy and said, hey, dude, that's a 409. And he's like, I've owned it forever. It's not a 409, it's 348. I want 200, I have 200, 250. I don't remember the exact number, but something like that. And so my son drove up there, grabbed it, pulled aside, went live with me online, and we looked real quick, and I run the numbers again just to make sure I wasn't wrong, and sure enough, it was a 409. Got it here to the shop, put it on my engine stand, and ripped it apart, and it's a 30 thousandths over 409. He just has it at the machine shop now, and it checked out clear. It doesn't have any cracks, any issues, no bad cylinders, none of that stuff. So he's talking about building a 409 Buick, which would be a little different considering he has that 322 nailhead. I kind of like the 322 nailhead. I think it's different. I think it's cool. It goes along with being a Buick. But who doesn't like a 409? And of course, he's going to put it on bags and put it on the ground. He's going to put white wall tires on it. We're going to try to match those front fenders because it doesn't match the rest of the car. And the car has great patina. And so what we want to do is we want to go ahead and hit it with a little color sanding a little bit, hit it with a Comet wash, take a buffing wheel to it, and then get it all shined up. Can we match the hood and fenders? I don't know. I think we can. As long as I don't get too crazy with trying to fake the patina. Maybe just hit the edges down real soft just to get to the primer, and then just let it do its own thing over the next couple of years. I think that's the best way. I've seen guys do it that way. They do it quite a bit. And it looks good that way when they do the patina that way. Of course, this is the best way here. Just never touch it, and it's patina. And, that didn't look like that when I bought it. It was pretty gold colored and kind of like a haze of rust on it. With the Comet wash and the CLR and, all the buffing and all the waxing. And then I put patina sauce on it for a while, which we're good. That was a good. So That would be cool with the 409. How many Buicks have you seen with a 409? Yeah, I haven't seen one. In fact, I haven't seen too many Buicks at all. But yeah, and that's why he's thinking that, So that'll be his decision. I just saw he pulled up right now. He's probably going to pack in some pellets. Yeah, but you're right. A 409 Buick would be different. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. So, yeah, he just walked in right now. We're just talking about your Buick. How many 409s have you seen in a Buick?
Never seen one.
Never seen one.
Pretty much pellets.
Just lay them right there. I'll deal with them. So, yeah, he just showed up with the pellets. Come over here for a second. You get live. This is my youngest son, Ryder. He's the one with the Buick out there that I just showed. He's made a couple comments on here also. I'm glad he wasn't a smart ass. That was kind of good.
I'm always smart ass.
Yeah. So what'd you do today?
Went and ran an excavator and then got a massage and picked up some pellets.
All right. Well, good stuff. What'd you do at the excavator? Who are you working with?
Our friends, Bar 46.
Yeah, go to them.
They do all the pet treat stuff. They have a little medium-sized farm down the hill from here, and he's got an excavator down there, and he's got a whole bunch of brush that we've been removing.
Oh, okay.
From fires.
And what were you welding?
I've been welding on the excavator, so I did his hydraulic line, broke off, welded a new one back on, and then grousers for all his tracks because it's like this.
Oh,
property.
Right. Yeah. No, he's got a neat thing with all the Akushis, all the Japanese cattle, and that ranch is a little bit different. We're supposed to be talking about cars though.
Yeah.
Not the Bar 46. It always goes back to the Bar 46. Maybe he's watching right now. Who knows? Who knows? He might be watching.
It's about nap time for him.
It's probably nap time. Or he's out feeding. He's out graining them. He works a lot. So, yeah, when you own what they call a medium-sized ranch,
You work a lot.
you work a lot. And when we say medium, it ain't no medium like I think. It's a big, big operation. You got lots of animals, lots of land to take care of. It's not medium. But I guess in the big world, when guys have hundreds of thousands of acres, his is a medium. So.
But his is all self-earned. So.
Yeah, his is self-earned, self-done, self-worked. Him and his family, they do a great job with it. And he has a car that I am going to actually do a little interview on. I'm going to bring it out. He has an old Jeep, and it's a Jeep pickup, 72. It's really cool. It's lifted up, and he's had it forever. He's had it virtually as long as I've known him. So I don't remember when he bought it, but I know I just had met him, or I don't know. He's had it as long as I can remember. So. Yeah, it's a neat old truck, and it's the first thing you kind of see when you come into his place. It's really cool. So I'm going to do a little interview on that because I love to get that truck out on camera and talk about it because it's just so rare. It's kind of like a Buick with a 409. Pretty rare.
Yeah, that's the plan with the Buick is possibly build a frame in here if he'll let me borrow his shop to build a frame.
Well,
for the car.
Depends how long it takes. Did the live look good?
Yeah.
Okay, comes right across. Can you hear it roll all?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, when I was I didn't have much service, so
okay.
I was behind a lot and it paused, but
okay.
It looked pretty good.
Yeah, because this is the way I had to do it but I was able to hook up my cool mics to it too.
Yeah.
So you can hear me real well?
Yeah.
The sound was good. It was quality. Okay, good. You don't know as you do this, I'll have to go back and watch it and see if it turned out the way I liked it and all that. So what transmission are you thinking of putting behind the 409? He's been thinking about a couple things. He has a turbo 400, and he can put the turbo 400 behind it, no problem. But he's been thinking of putting an old 4-speed. Yep, all 3 pedal. Yep. He'll have to put a 9-inch in there with the 3 pedal because he'll probably break it. Something will probably break.
I've never broke a rear end in my life. I don't know what you're talking about.
He's broke many rear ends with automatics, let alone with the 4-speed. So the 4-speed would be kind of trick, Old Buick with an old 4-speed. Probably gonna have to move the brake master cylinder up on the firewall.
Move that brake pedal anyways. That brake pedal I have to come off the gas and because it hangs so far forward.
Oh, okay.
So I'm fine with switching that stuff up.
So you can just buy those pedal kits and put that pedal kit in there, and then put the hydraulic for the master cylinder on the clutch, and then the brake master cylinder on the firewall.
And the Buick's so big, there's plenty of seating still, even with the stick.
Go with a Muncie 4-speed. Yeah, the Muncie 4-speed. That was when I was a kid. That was the transmission to have. Nothing like a Muncie 4-speed. It'd be kind of cool. 54 Buick with a Muncie 4-speed. I just don't know how much cooler you get.
I don't know of another 54 Buick with 409 in it.
I think it'd be kind of cool, the 54 Buick with the 409, and then watch the old guys that are the purist, lose their marbles. Man, I love the Wagon. Can you do a walk around video? I'm working on a 56 210 Handyman. Thank you for your response on the history of your Wagon. Great channel. Well, thank you. And I hope you've watched. I have done the walk around, but I'll do one right now. We'll do another one. So again, mine's the 150. Let's move this little chair out of the way. So under the hood, let's go under the hood and work our way around. So there we go. We got a 350 Chevy, 355, 30 over, some TRW, flat tops in there, some supported heads, things like that. Let's see if I can get this thing working right here. It's going to take me a second. Okay, so there we go. So it's got, you know, the dual carbs on it, the AVS2s, 500 CFM. Like I said, a little work on the heads. It's got a 268 comp cam. It's got a steel crank, things of that nature. Fender wells are all clean, not rusted up, not rotted up. Again, it's the original paint on the car. I did flip the bumper on it. So I did do a bumper flip. Let me see if I can get this thing. There we go. I'm having trouble with my camera skills. So yeah, I did a bumper flip on it. Right there, that's a 55 Chevy bumper on a 56. Here, let's go around nice and slow. There we go. It's on bags with tubular A-arms. It has 2-inch drop spindles, and it has dual piston calipers in there. And then the door art was done by Tomcat, but he matched it to make it look like it's always been there. We get a lot of comments about that for sure, about the door art. As we work around here, it's just got, you know, plain Jane, just those pleated door panels, all black vinyl type stuff. The interior is the black vinyl also. See if I can get another angle of it. So there you go. And it's got a sparkly Superior 500 steering wheel from way back when. It was on the car when I got the car, you know, 10 years ago. And then you go along here, all the patina is, I mean, it's real smooth. It's where I've, you know, just buffed the crap out of it. And then we come around to the back here. And the tailgate, and it has the, whoa, I got all messed up on my phone. There we go. It did all wonky donkey thing on me. On the back of it, it's got the car cover up on top of it. And the fender cover, I just threw it up there after I took it off the 55. And it's kind of close on the other, oh, on the back. I'm gonna actually do a video, probably tomorrow. I'm gonna take the wheel off, put it up in the air and get it all ready up on how you can lower these things on bags with leaf springs. You do not have to put a 4-link in it. I mean, if you're gonna drag race, you're gonna run the crap out of it, you're gonna autocross it, you're gonna have to go with the 4-link. But if you want to just drive it and not drive the crap out of it, dropping a 4-speed, you know, banging the gears and all that will be just fine. It's been just fine for a year, and I'm not a Lightfoot. I definitely throttle it. It doesn't move around. I don't have any issues with it. So that's another video I'm gonna show how you can do that, because it took me a while to do that. Again, the hood, it's got good chrome on some spots. Some are a little more patinaed. But then down the side, the 55 is a 210, it's kind of close. It gives me more room in the shop. So I have to move the Wagon to get the 55 out. And then I put in this, so this is a radio hole. It's just been there forever. And I don't know, a few months ago, I was like, hey, I got a little button here. And it's great for car shows. Kids go, I tell them, hey, push the red button. And it's hooked to the horn. It's kind of fun. It can just come out. And I can just hook the radio to it if I wanted to. I hope that was enough walk around. Let me know if you want to see anything else on it. I'd be more than glad to show you. More than glad. So, and then the 55, you know, I've shown it a couple times today. Again, it's a very nicely painted car. It was my dad's. So it kind of holds that special spot. And I have a neat video about it. So, yeah, the roof rack. So you can get that roof rack if you go to that sweet patina sauce. He doesn't have the exact roof rack, and I'll be honest with you, I think his are a little cooler. They look just as vintage. They're newer. They're new. I believe they're new. I don't know else how you get them, but he has them, and they look just like that. I got those off eBay years and years ago, and I put a copper pipe on it. I had bamboo on there for a long time, and I thought the copper looked better. These just clip to the rails, but go to that sweet patina sauce. And the sweet patina sauce, he has a link on there. His have the little cool hook on the top where I had to put a bolt, and then they cinch down to the bolt. His are nice. His are really nice. So that's where I would go. I'd do the sweet patina sauce. I was thinking about adding a third one, even though it'd be a little different. I was going to add the third one to the front here, but I just haven't done it. They're, you know, they're good like they are. They work good. It makes the car look kind of cool. But again, go to his website. You can find him on Facebook, find him online. He has some cool racks. Real cool racks. In fact, I was thinking about that old truck I'm building, putting a rack on the roof of that. Because I seen him put them on those C10s. I call it a C10, it's actually a C30, but yeah, I put them on that roof. I've seen him do it. It looks really, really good that way. And like I said, if you need, I see your thing is Wingnut 68 Nova. So my very first car was a Nova. And when I was 15 years old, I was kind of a wingnut, so probably still am.
Didn't that Nova go through somebody's yard?
Yeah, that Nova launched through somebody's yard. You know, it was a drag race, and the Firebird had to lose. So he had Daddy's Firebird, and he didn't win. Well, he probably did win because I'm the one that went off the road into the grass. I almost made it. That frickin' tree just clipped it, just hit the edge of it and screwed up my new car. That was new to me. It was a pretty nice car, though. It was a really nice car until I smacked it into the tree. So, yeah, no, but his poor Firebird, you know, he was talking long doo-doo about how cool it was and how fast it was. And, you know, it run, 8-second quarter miles and run 180 miles an hour. And, it was right up there with the space shuttle. And, he had all those big numbers like that. Well, he found out that a little Nova kicked his ass. So a car come out in front of us. We were drag racing out on the street. And when it come out, he was losing, and that's why he ended up surviving. I went right, and when I hit the grass, yeah, it's a full four-wheel drift across the grass. Cars don't turn very well when you're on somebody's lawn. And the lady, she had a very nice house. It was a very expensive little area, and she was mad. She was really mad. She called the police. Yeah, and the cops came, and they looked around, saw the kids standing there, saw the Firebird, saw my car, saw all of us, and he's like, so really, what's going on here? That was not really, When I said, a car pulled up in front of us, yeah, what were you doing? Oh, yeah, I was kind of going fast. Yeah, what was that car doing? Was he side by side? He wasn't a dummy, he'd been around.
He was actually looking for taillights.
Yeah. So my brother calls up, and he's looking out for me, and he calls up and says, car pulled out in front of us. Come get us. Crash the car. We're fine. My dad showed up. Yeah, he's not a dummy either. He kind of knows. But he was okay with it. He didn't say too much. But my mom, yeah, she was kind of mad. In fact, ask my brother how his V8 is, because he didn't get one. It's a long-time nickname. My first car was a 56 Nomad. I love them 56 Nomads. Sold it in the 80s to Dan Chuck. Okay. It was their showroom for years. It was in their showroom for years. I was just a kid and couldn't afford to restore it. We know we've all been there and all done that. I mean, well, most of us have. You go to some of these car shows, you see these young kids in some of these cars, you're like, really? Yeah, I get it. I see how it works. Yeah, that's a cool car. That's the one you lost. We've all been there. We've all been down that road. So, but that's a cool nickname. I like the nickname. The nickname is cool. Very cool. Very, very cool. And then a Dan Chuck, that's cool. I actually had a car I bought that was from a tweaker that won at an MGM Grand in Reno, and it was a '56 Chevy. And I think I don't know if I have it on my YouTube or not.
Looks on the short.
I might have it on the short. It was a two-tone, that sea foam and that dark green, and it only had, get this, it only had 7,000 miles on it. It was like, I think it was 92 when I sold it. It smelled new on the inside. It sat on their carousel, and it was in the same company prior to the casino being built. It was called the Money Car. And this doper won it. Another guy was in there having lunch, and he was a plumber, and he bought it just because he had the money with him, and bought it for next to nothing, put it in the paper, and I just happened to buy it right away. And I like tripled my money in a year with it. So, and I still kind of kicked myself for selling it because it was pristine, but I was going to molest it. I was going to chop it up and cut it up and put a 502 in it and do all sorts of good stuff. So it was probably best I sold it. I sold it to a classic car place. After I did all the research on it, had all the paperwork on it, proving that it was the mileage it was, and it had everything original. Battery wasn't original, and the tires were not original. So at some point, somebody put tires on it and battery in it, original interior, original paint, and it was pristine. It was perfect. Like I said, it was showroom perfect. It was a neat car. It was an old man car. 3 on the tree. It was a Bel-Air post car. So it had all the chrome, all the stuff, but it was a Bel-Air car with 3 on the tree and a 6-cylinder. Just don't see many of them like that. I don't know. Most of the Bel-Airs had the small blocks in them, and most of the Bel-Airs had hard tops, I thought. I mean, I could be wrong, but you just don't see many, Bel-Air post cars with a 6-cylinder and 3 on the tree. Just an oddball car, but it was really, really nice. That's for sure. Again, I dig the tagged Wingnut 68 Nova. That's pretty cool. And then Tracy, I think that was awesome with the 4-speed. My son's been sitting here listening and watching, so he's smiling. He's going to go with the Muncie 4-speed in a 409, and then watch the old purists and the Buicks lose their marbles. Well, I don't know if we have any other questions about the cars or your car, or about airbags. So.
What's the oldest car you owned? Was it that UPS truck?
No, it was a 55. So I think my 55, I don't think I've owned anything older than a 55. But I've had so many cars. Oh no, I had a 40s. My brother and I bought an old 40s Jeep. It was an old military Jeep with an old rope winch on it.
Oh.
When I was working at the dealership, I picked it up. It was one of those things, he was going to trade it in on it. The sales manager come down to me and knew I was, flipping cars on the side, just kind of fixing them up. And I went out to the guy's house and looked at it, and I said, yeah, I'll do this. So my brother and I, he coughed up half the money, and we drove it home. A little 4-cylinder in it, and it was an old military. It was built by Ford.
Oh, was that Ford Jeep?
It was a Ford Jeep, yeah.
I was going to do a YouTube video on that the other day.
Yeah, it was a Ford Jeep, and then we cleaned it up, just absolutely waxed it up and polished it up and got it running good, and just made it look nice. And I put it for sale, and we made a little bit of money on it. So, and it was in the 40s. I don't know exactly what year it was, but I want to say it was like 42, 43, somewhere in there. It was early 40s, I thought. But yeah, it was the Ford Jeep.
Yeah, I think when during the war, Ford did Jeeps
Yeah.
in the United States.
Yeah, I think during the war they did the
Sold
Jeeps.
maybe like 6 months ago.
But it's been, so I think we bought that Jeep in probably 86 or 7.
Yeah.
So long time ago, 40 years ago. So forgive me if I don't have the numbers right on the year, but it was definitely old, and it was a military Jeep, and it had the rope. I remember the rope winch was cool because they cinch down as the winch goes, and then it gets tight, and then they just pull in. It was a pretty neat setup, really neat setup. Look like a big spindle-like, sewing spindle-like thing.
Almost like what you see on a Dozer.
Yeah, like you see on a Dozer. Same thing, yeah. Same idea. So, all right.
My Model A, the oldest car you've had in your garage, though?
So your Model A is the oldest car I've had in the garage. So far, that's the oldest. So, all right. Well, I appreciate all of the chat that we had, and I appreciate all the watching. It's gone up and down all day for the last hour. Oh, it's almost been up. It's 50 minutes I've been on live. And I appreciate you hanging in there. So go like, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. I'd really appreciate that. It helped me out a bunch, and I hope you guys that are doing, you know, small channels like this do the live. This is really my first live. I did one this morning that we just turned it on because I didn't know what I was doing and flipped it on. I was standing in the house and I wanted to get out here and do one. And this is my actual first live, and it worked good. I got my little DJJ microphone, GJI, or whatever they call these, and it hooked to my phone, and the thing plugged on the bottom. And because I have a really nice camera that I use for all this, for all the videos.
Tire size, yes, the tire size.
Oh, looking forward to upcoming videos. What tire size are you running on the Wagon? Oh gosh, I don't know.
Read it off.
Yeah, read it off. I don't forget what they were. They're Cokers, what they are.
Are they the same on the front and rear?
Yeah, same all the way around. So I got my trusty get on the floor guy, getting that number. I think they're like 215s.
205,
Oh.
75, 15.
205, 75, 15. And that's a stock 56 wheel, 55, 66, whatever, those steel wheels. And then, but it's got the different 56 hubcap. And these tires are made by Coker.
You know my favorite thing about this car?
What's your favorite thing?
I can use the fender to get up. On
Yeah.
the Raw's Camaro, you touch the fender, you're going to dent it.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that's the nice thing about the patina car. So that's 215, 75,
205.
205, 205, 75,
Yeah.
15s. 205, 75, 15s. It's funny, I used to probably know that when I put them on like 2 years ago, but I forget. Oh, you're welcome for that, no problem. If you have any other questions, I'd be more than glad to answer what I can. So, very good.
Pretty good deal on those tires, too.
I bought them off Facebook. So I got tires, wheels, hub, all of it off Facebook. And it was a very good deal. They were brand new. They were on a blue 56 Chevy 210 car. And he was putting on, you know, American Racing 5-spoke type thing. I had those on here for a while, those American Racings on there. And I just wanted it to look more stock, especially since I knew I was going to bag it. And I wanted them thin and skinny so I could drop it on the ground.
I thought you were crazy when you did it. I was like, that's fucking stupid.
But it looks good, huh?
It looks super good.
Yeah. You know, those...
It's my favorite setup on the car so far.
Yeah, I've had a lot of wheels on this car. I've had 3 sets. And this right here is probably the best. It does look the best, I think. Seems to get the most likes on it. And, you know, that's a good indicator of what it looks like. So, yeah, they work pretty good. But, yeah, Facebook. So it was a good deal, and run right over and picked them up. They're brand new. They still have little nubbies on it. In fact, over in the corner, I have the 5th wheel and the spare tire for it. They was brand new, still in the package. I mean, they were brand new. They were like, I mean, he said he put them on, drove around the block, and didn't like them. And so I was going to paint them because they're blue. And my buddy Chris says, throw those things on there because I think you might like them. And he's right. They look excellent blue. I don't know why. It just sets the car off. Just that little blue stripe on there. And I'm going to tie it in probably with a pinstripe in here. So I'm going to have Tomcat, the same guy that did the door art, throw a couple nice little stripes on it to kind of tie it all in. I just haven't done it. He lives down in Arizona, so he's a ways from me now. But that'll be the plan for that. You know, I have lots of plans for it. You know, we'll see where I end up with a lot of these plans. You know, one of my other plans I'll show you here is I have a 1956 stock intake and valve covers for it with the stock 2-barrel air cleaner. Right there. And it has that snorkel type air cleaner with the little openings on it. And so what I wanted to do is since that motor is that steel blue, I'll have him open it up. But I was thinking, because the wheels are that color with the yellow, is matching it to the motor in here.
Throw some light on it.
Yeah, throw some light so we can get a look at it. But it has a really, really cool look to it. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it's a really neat blue. They call it steel.
Is it a Pontiac steel?
It's a Pontiac. It's off the GTO is what it's off of. So, but it's a really cool steel colored, I forget they call it like titanium or something. It is called titanium silver blue. That's the color. And that color is freaking cool looking in person. I don't know when it comes across in the camera, but it's a neat color. So I was thinking about taking that stock intake back there and then painting it that same color and then putting a fuel injector on it. maybe porting that 2-barrel intake on it and then putting the throttle body on there, a throttle body injection, but make it look stock, but with the steel blue color being different than the orange like everybody does. And then with the white script on the valve cover, you know, they make those little kits. So put that white script on those valve covers and go that direction. I don't know, I like the dual quads, it looks cool. Definitely different. Pop the hood of a stock car and it's got dual quads on it. It looks really, really good that way. All right, well, we're gonna wrap this up. Glad you could stop by, Ryder, with some pellets. All right, we'll see you guys later, and thanks again. Hey, thanks for the compliment there, Wingnut. Appreciate it. And again, I dig your name. That's cool. All right, well, thank you so much. Hope you guys like and subscribe and do all that stuff before I hang it up. And you guys have a wonderful day. And then look forward to my airbag video, because that's going to be really informative if you want to put your car underground.
That's how it looks.
Oh, that's cool. All right, see ya.